TIMA senior doctor Chen Kuicun continues to serve Dharma families at the 4-in-1 training retreat. A 10-year-old Tzu Chi scholarship recipient helped set up the family food stall before heading to school. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Lori Chen. Thank you for joining us. At Tzu Chi's 4-in-1 training retreat, local Tzu Chi volunteers worked hard to make sure their overseas counterparts are being taken care of. At the camp in Banqiao, there's a 102-year-old TIMA doctor who still happily continues to serve at the retreat's medical station.
TIMA senior doctor Chen Kuicun welcomes Dharma families who have come to seek medical attention. Although he's already 102 years old, he still seizes every opportunity to serve others.
After depositing 50 years of my age in the Tzu Chi age treasury, I'm only 52 years old. The more I serve, the happier I am.
With the passion to serve, Dr. Chen still remembers his initial aspirations to practice medicine from 70-plus years ago. 11 years ago, he was diagnosed with terminal liver cancer. Now that he has nearly escaped a death sentence, he is even more eager to help any patients that come along.
It's a waste if I cannot come serve patients, since I have plenty of experience. Sitting idly at home is a waste of time. I'm really happy to have the chance to serve others.
The Tzu Chi 4-in-1 training retreat is being held at Tzu Chi Banqiao grounds. The attendees from overseas hope to bring what they've learned here back to their respective countries.
I've been
in charge of study groups at the Jinshi Books and Cafe for several years now. However, it isn't without any challenges. I hope after attending the retreats in Taiwan, I can bring what I've learned back to the Philippines and motivate more people to join our study groups.
As volunteers from overseas in Taiwan gather to share mutual experiences, they have also created a ripple effect of great love that will continue to spread on.
2 Myanmar volunteers, Wu San-Tian and Wu Tian-Dun, attended this year's 4-in-1 training retreat. They vowed to carry Master's wishes and continue to promote the Rice Bank campaign.
Burmese volunteer Wu San-Tian listened carefully to the translation of each course presented during the retreat. This is his first time traveling overseas, and the destination is Taiwan, the spiritual home of old Tzu Chi volunteers.
Due to some issues on the plane which delayed my schedule, plus I was coming down with a cold, I was feeling quite upset. However, I vowed that I must make the trip to Taiwan, so I found the inner strength to hold on.
Since 2015, Wu San-Tian has been inviting local farmers to save up a jar of rice daily, and the Rice Bank members have increased from 400 originally to 600 households now. This is the power of keeping his vow.
When I'm recruiting Rice Bank members to save up rice every day, the motivation from Master's teachings was what kept me going. It taught me to be humble and compassionate towards others. This has also fulfilled my dream of meeting Master one day.
The volunteer that accompanied him in traveling over 2,000 miles to Taiwan was none other than the first seed, Wu Tian-Tong. Wearing the blue and white commissioner uniform, he shoulders great responsibilities for Tzu Chi missions in Myanmar.
I will practice the Dharma teachings in my daily life because this is what Master expects her disciples to do. We all need to keep inviting more people into the Tzu Chi family, and I've vowed to help the Master in any way I can.
These Burmese Tzu Chi volunteers will share what they've seen and learned in Taiwan to farmers back home and keep leading the way in cultivating more blessings locally.
Tzu Chi Thailand chapter started to provide scholarships to impoverished students since 2011. Among the scholarship recipients is a 10-year-old girl in Bangkok who aspires to become a teacher. She not only helps the family with their food stall, but also studies diligently. With the help of Tzu Chi, the filial child is one step closer to her dreams.
Early in the morning on the streets of Bangkok, one sees the continuous stream of vehicles and people heading to school or work. 10-year-old Kwachanak is wearing an apron outside of her school uniform because she first needs to help her parents prepare food ingredients at their family food stall.
My daughter helps us a lot. Since one of my hands is not so mobile, she helps us prepare ingredients for the food stall before heading to school.
Every morning, she comes to help her mother prepare for the stove. In the afternoon, she also comes to help clean up. I seldom see her going out to play with her friends. She's like an adult. She is a very filial and hardworking child.
Despite Kwachanak's small stature, she works quickly. She is also a diligent student. Although she cannot attend cram school like her classmates, her school performance is still one of the top in her class.
I'm very happy having a considerate daughter. Although I'm busy with work and have little time to accompany her, she still studies hard and does well in school.
With her outstanding academic performance, Kwachanak started to receive Tzu Chi scholarships in 2015. The volunteers who visit her family regularly praise her for her hard work.
We asked every scholarship applicant how they can help their parents at home. Kwachanak told me what she does every day. After our home visitations, we found out she is really diligent and filial.
I've never thought that helping my parents with work is something difficult. I enjoy helping my family. My mother works hard to raise me, and I like to lessen her burden any way I can.
Kwachanak says that she aspires to become a Thai language teacher when she grows up. She's now pursuing her dreams one first step at a time.
Beginning of this year, Tzu Chi volunteers in Sabah, Malaysia, helped local government to conduct a population census in Gaya Island. They found majority of the children weren't able to attend school due to legal statuses. Therefore, in collaboration with many parties, an educational center was established.
The chairs and desks in the classroom were transported to Gaya Island from Kota Kinabalu. Tzu Chi volunteers needed to set up the classroom in the educational center before the class begins. The children were very excited to receive their school supplies. When the children showed up barefooted, the volunteers were quick to measure uniforms and shoes so they can attend school comfortably. The educational center in Pulakatam is located right next to a church. Due to the limited space, they can only take in 48 students for the first session.
We are feeling helpless because the classroom has limited space and seating. If everything goes smoothly, we hope to open an afternoon class. We're expecting to take in 40 more students if possible.
Education is very important. Being parents, we never had a chance to go to school, so we hope our children can have the opportunity to receive a better education.
My hope is that my children can continue to study until middle school and find a good job in society like everyone else.
Mayor of Kota Kinabalu and the CEO of Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter both came to the educational center to celebrate the opening ceremony.
My plan is that in the future we will expand this tiny school throughout this island, and we can improve their lives by educating them to protect and love this environment.
I believe the entire environment will improve once education is improved. I'm very grateful for local Tzu Chi volunteers' kindness and the city government's support. We are very hopeful for the future, and we hope to gradually help the local residents to improve their quality of living.
Classes have officially begun. Volunteers held the hands of the students to teach them how to write for the very first time. All the children are excited about going to school because they know that this is their chance to realize their future dreams.
When Hurricane Harvey hit, aid distributions quickly took place. This year, U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers conducted an all-English retreat in Houston, Texas. Many of the local volunteers came to participate for the very first time.
This is the annual English retreat for Tzu Chi Foundation. This is my first time in Houston, first time in an English retreat. I've taken on the role of coordination lead.
I hope in the next few days that you'll feel the love, the kindness, and compassion of all of our volunteers.
40% of the attendees for this camp are all brand new volunteers. Because of the disaster relief we did here in Houston, we wanted to make sure that we would be able to invite them into the Bodhisattva family.
On the night of August 25th, Hurricane Harvey hit the coast of Texas. Please help me welcome Mayor Julie Masters. Thank you so much.
I have had the most wonderful experience with Tzu Chi. They came to Dickinson when our citizens had lost hope that they could recover from a massive amount of flooding.
You are part of the most extraordinary group I have ever had the pleasure of knowing.
In the past, and for Tzu Chi, I've always been in the background. This is the first time where I'm actually given more responsibilities.
Let's give them a round of applause. Let's wait to the control upstairs.
People actually ask, what is it about Dharma that you had to bring in Dharma in our retreat? Gradually, they realize Dharma is about making good relationships. If you really apply these Bodhisattva practices, that you transform yourself, resonance can help me to make good connection. And when we do that, we can change the world.
Okay, are we ready?
68-year-old Miriam is a care recipient of the Tzu Chi Singapore chapter. She lives alone and suffers from asthma. So the volunteers went and helped her clean her house as a surprise gift.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
The cat is Miriam's only company. Suffering from asthma, she is unable to clean her own house, so she asked for the volunteers' help.
I haven't cleaned my house for a long time because I can hardly breathe when I try to do it myself.
About 10 volunteers cleaned her house in and out thoroughly, and they've painted the wall with her favorite color green. The day of the cleaning was during Ramadan, which Muslims fast during the day. However, it has not stopped this single mother Siti to come to join her colleagues.
I just thought that give back to society because society has helped me a lot. Thanks for letting me in on your project.
I thought she wouldn't have the energy to come during Ramadan, but surprisingly, she still came to join us.
There's also an 11-year-old little boy who came to clean up with the volunteers.
I came to join this activity with my parents today because I wanted to help. I've helped wipe the plates and mop the floor. It was very messy when we first came, but now it's very clean.
I'm very happy today that volunteers were able to help me to clean my living environment. Now I have a lovely home once again. Poor air quality, other than affecting breathing, the contact lens users are also strongly affected. Contact lenses are also known as dirt vacuums, so when the waste is not properly discharged, infections can easily develop. A university sophomore, Mei, wears contact lenses over 12 hours every day. The air quality is not good, so she once had 2 styes in her right eye.
The styes were on the upper lid and lower lid of my eye. The bottom one came first, then the upper one followed.
Contact lenses are like a dust vacuum.
It's probably quite serious because the whole lens is all grayish in color now. I worry that my eyes are going to be negatively affected.
It's uncomfortable and dry over time. Sometimes it's hard to even take off the lenses. It feels like it's glued onto my eyeball.
It's not just the problem of the smog by itself, but there are many bacteria that can be caught within the smog, which creates like a nesting effect. Bacteria will hide inside the lenses and accumulate over time. That's why an infection can be easily bred inside the contact lens when it has been worn too long.
Doctors compare contact lenses to the dishwashing scrubs due to the fact that there need to be holes for the oxygen to get in. However, contact lenses users are often paying attention to only how oxygen can get in, but ignore how to let the dirt out.
It's like a sponge desperately sucking all the dirty particles in. After the lens is put into place, our nerve reflex sensitivity becomes drastically reduced.
The average person blinks 6 to 10 times per minute. When one wears contact lenses, they blink a lot less.
It only helps to moisten the eyes.
Tears need to circulate within the eyes. This will help drain out all the waste generated from the cornea.
The doctor teaches a couple of facial exercises that are specifically targeting the eye area. These are very beneficial to contact lens users because it reteaches the eye's nerve reflexes. Due to the increase in comfort and thinness of newer contact lenses, it's crucial to constantly stimulate the eyes.
When you blink harder. This will help more or less stimulate the eyes.
Do not wear contact lenses for over 8 hours a day. If you are not sure about the cleanliness, the doctor recommends that you give the daily lenses a try. When there is serious air pollution, try wearing only glasses or safety goggles outside of your contact lenses. The textile and garment industry are the second largest polluting industries in the world, only behind that of the petrochemical industry. A Greenpeace investigation found the prevalent problem is the abuse of harmful chemicals, substance in the production process. This leads to many types of contaminations.
Behind me is the Savor Industrial Area in Bangladesh. There are a lot of textile mills congregated here.
This industrial area has one large sewer discharging wastewater.
The end of the road for vehicles is where pollution may be at its worst for those local residents. Our investigative team had to travel on foot along this path to finally see the source of the pollution.
The water is completely muggy and you can't see the bottom. We will test the pH level. Oh wow, this looks to be between 10 and 11, which is highly alkaline.
Textile sludge mixed with industrial wastewater from this huge sewer drain pours out into the field, leaving a strong odor. Even more surprising is that on the left-hand side, separated by an embankment, is farmland.
I got a little bit of water on me and my hand is beginning to itch.
Bringing back to Taiwan for testing, the manganese and lead were heavy metals that were found to be 2 to 3 times the standard safe level for rivers in Taiwan.
When heavy metal exceeds safe levels in wastewater, it can eventually enter our food chain.
We checked farmland soil near the sewage outlet and found that the copper and zinc heavy metals are much higher than standards for soil in Taiwan. The farmland that is several kilometers away has been contaminated for more than 20 years. The accumulation of heavy metals has caused the dead area of farmland to expand.
The water here is too dirty as many crops die, but I still have to continue planting.
Covered in this mud, these toxins can enter his skin and affect his health.
He knows many people here who have skin diseases, as well as many who have died because of this.
The cost of human life and the environment is too cheaply valued when compared to economic development. The pollution was equally alarming in another industrial area several kilometers away.
Soon no one will be able to live here, especially elderly people. Small children have trouble breathing, and many residents are prone to skin diseases and respiratory lesions.
This industrial area in Dhaka, Bangladesh gets wastewater from nearby factories who are directly discharging into this ditch. Local residents have long lived in this. Permissive environmental laws and regulations coupled with lax enforcement are common pollution problems encountered by Bangladesh and other developing countries. They are similar to what plagued China 6 years ago. A giant black tide of pollution appeared on the Qiantang River downstream of the textile industry. Local textile workers were also dyed dark red. Greenpeace personnel did on-site sampling.
Our sampling found the sewage containing nonylphenols along with some heavy metals, as well as some plasticizers, which are all chemical substances.
Facing the hard choice of industry or the environment, when the economy in China took off, environmental protection was ultimately chosen.
China is very concerned about the environment, as some traditional textile industries are polluting the environment, as many such industries have already been kicked out.
However, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and India are poor countries which still choose economic development. Taiwan already faced this issue with some companies saving expenses related to waste processing by simply engaging in dumping. In my hand, this black matter is untreated textile sludge. This is farmland in Qigu District, Tainan, where more than 2,000 tons of textile sludge has been dumped for 4 years.
This businessman misled us and simply wanted to dump this material.
In fact, this is only the tip of the iceberg for textile pollution. There are nearly 500 waste disposal sites in Taiwan. From the south to the north, there are still 147 polluted sites that have not yet to be cleared.
We do source management and careful auditing to see if the amount of textile sludge processing is accurate. We seek to find any discrepancies where sludge could be going to unknown places.
Garment manufacturing has become a global industry with multinational corporations seeking to reduce production costs, though they need a global village to jointly pay for these huge environmental costs.
On each product tag, in addition to marking the place of production, we may also consider stating how much water has been used, its carbon footprint and ecological footprint to allow consumers to buy such products and feel assured.
The price for clothing is not just calculated by what one spends from a wallet, as there are invisible costs that also include the higher price of environmental pollution.
We'll leave you with these images, and thank you for joining us. See you next time.